Brian, I'm also curious to get your take as a a public health expert of sorts, with this story coming out that Canadian public health officials and border guards are saying that close to 1,500 people are not properly following the isolation rules. These are international travels. They've come to Canada. They're made aware of the quarantine rules and they're flouting them, possibly violating them. And now police are being brought in because the border guards and public health are saying, listen, this is a big issue.
Yeah, it's a huge issue. This is where we're combining epidemics that are at different stages. The curve is very flat in Canada. Many of these individuals are coming from places where the curve is nowhere near as flat as it is here. They are potential vectors for transmission. And if they will not adhere to our public health regulations, I think this is one setting where we really need to get the legal system involved. We really need to not give up the gains that we have made here in Canada and as we rebuild the new normal.
Yeah, I was recently in BC, and there's talk about Americans who are crossing the border allegedly to go to Alaska, but if they actually end up there or not, or maybe they stop and enjoy the beautiful province you have. Even here on my way home yesterday, I saw a car go by that had Florida plates, and I thought, Florida. So you sort of get a sense of the border potentially still being kind of porous.
Well, the last time I looked, someone who's crossing the border south of Vancouver and going to Alaska, if they wind up in Victoria or Nanaimo, that is certainly not on the way to Alaska. And we certainly need to put an end to that. This is serious. This is public health. This is building the new normal. And some of these behaviors are not part of the new normal. They need to be identified. They need to be discouraged. And if it requires legal intervention to do so, unfortunately, this is what we will need to do.
Good to see you again, Brian, and thanks for taking the time as always.
Great. Let's all go out there and be safe.
Dr. Brian Conway in Vancouver. Speaking of the border, CTV News has learned the ban on non-essential travel across the border to the States is expected to be extended, yes, by another month until the 21st of August. Sources telling CTV News the restrictions limiting travel between the two countries will remain in place after a recent phone call between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and U.S. President Donald Trump that happened on Monday. The update comes despite a plea from 29 members of U.S. Congress asking Canada to consider lifting restrictions. The members are calling for a phased reopening, even as COVID-19 cases continue to skyrocket in states right across the country.